my biggest pride is really not, well, the biggest pride that I have, I really carry along, is not so much my paid work, although I do a lot of that lately for clients. It's the community building. So I've built lots of communities over years, and I strongly recommend considering to keep yours going. I think this is a community, right? This is the great place where people can learn in an uninhibited and safe way. So I believe I'm a strong believer in meetups, lean coffee, various other things. So this is kind of very relevant because in large scale Scrum, and this is today's going to be mentioned today. A community is a very, very strong organizational structure through which people learn. So all of these communities are available, and if you are willing to join, you're more than welcome to. So let me start. So as Mandy has said, there are some terms, there's some jargon I would like to unpack, and hopefully we'll have some clarity around this. What I have boiled down for myself is there are some very grossly overloaded terms out there, and it requires some explanation. So first I'll start with the word Agile itself. As I mentioned, way back when this word actually meant something, this is when I had the pleasure of learning, but today things have shifted a lot for many organizations. So here's an advice for you and a tip. If you hear people, if you hear anyone using excessively the word Agile, try to substitute with the word adaptive. If the meaning hasn't changed, most likely a person used it right. If the meaning has been completely lost, then probably the word Agile was misused. It could have been done in the wrong context, or with the wrong for a wrong purpose, or with the wrong intention. Another word would be the word enterprise. You'll be surprised at how many organizations think that just because they're big and what they're doing is biggish, that they are on the course of Agile transformation. Enterprise Agile transformation. Agile transformation at enterprise level that involves only IT department is really not an enterprise. It's just a large org structure. At the same time, if you touch in various other organizational structures such as HR, finance and budgeting, site strategies, even of a smaller company like maybe 500 people or even 300 or 200 people, you are actually influencing organizational ecosystemic agility at enterprise level. So just because something is big doesn't mean it's an enterprise. Just like an enterprise Voyager, you take one huge thruster that is so humongous, so big. It's not an enterprise, it's just a piece of the engine. And the last but not least, kind of relates to today's topic, is the word scaling. This is another highly, very popular these days and very frequently abused term. As we will learn throughout the discussion, perhaps to scale shouldn't be your main goal, because essentially what it means is that if you are scaling something, there is a built-in assumption that you have something good to start with, and you are scaling goodness. If you do not have goodness to begin with, and you have organizational emissions and problems that are very deep systemic, you will be scaling emissions, you will be scaling problems. So why do that? I usually say you have to nail it before you scale it. So to keep in mind, this is a tip that I would like to give you all genuinely, and this is something that I remember every day and follow. Try avoiding unnecessary complexity, and don't try to scale unless you absolutely have to. This is something we educate, at least I educate my clients, my companies that I service. Don't just jump to these big scaling solutions and try to amplify things without really without any assurance that what you have is goodness, because you will be multiplying badness. You will be multiplying those very emissions and impediments and dysfunctions you are trying to minimize, to avoid. So before you scale something, think: are you in good shape?